All right, my friends, I wrote down 5 things right here in my journal of what we need to do to be able to work with buyers in 2021 in this low inventory. It's been really fun as a coach because I've been dealing with so many agents across the country right now who are dealing with what we in Southern California and the Bay Area have been dealing with for the last 7 years. So for all of my clients across the country and all my friends, welcome to the low inventory, high buyer demand, difficult to get offers accepted, writing offers 10, 20, 30, 40, 100, $200,000 over list price and getting beat out. So, for those of you that I haven't met yet, just so you know, as a coach, I've been dealing with Bay Area real estate agents for the last 7 years, and I've been helping them write offers, getting buyers to write offers 50, 100, 200,000 over list price on a regular basis and still lose. And so this now we're seeing this across the country. So I want to give you today the best advice that I have that I've been using personally here in San Diego, what I've been seeing my wife do who's getting offers accepted over 10 or 12 or 13 right now, all my coaching clients who are winning the game at a high level. Let me give you the 5 things that I wrote down to help you win the game in 2021. So let's get to work. Number one, I'm going to start with something that's the most exciting, which is use your buyers to get listings. What am I talking about? Wait, how are we going to get more offers accepted? First and foremost, use your buyer to get listings. And I tell this story really because it hit me so hard. I had this great buyer couple who wanted to buy in what's called San Alejo Hills, which is about 20 minutes away from my house. And so I showed them one property. I drove all the way over there, showed the property, and then drove all the way home. Afterwards, I thought to myself, what am I doing? I have 3 or 4 great past clients in San Alejo Hills. I have 2 to 3 great friends, center of influence friends in San Alejo Hills. Why did I not call them all on the way over and say, hey guys, I got this great couple who want to buy in San Alejo Hills. Do you know anyone who's thinking of selling? I would love to A, introduce you, and B, since I'm going to be showing property there, let's hang out one of these days, right? Why didn't I do that? Either text message or phone call to my past clients into my sphere so that my past clients in sphere had their eyes out with all their neighbors to find me listings. Little treat for you. There you go. So that's number one. Number two, inside of the same point, how to get listings with your buyer, right, is make sure that for those of you across the country, pull up the last 5 years of expired, cancels, withdrawals, and for sale by owners. See, I did this a long time ago. I had a buyer for 1-3 in a niche community, and they were highly motivated. So I went into the MLS, I pulled up all the expired cancels over the last 5 years. I went through all the properties, and I found a couple that I thought would be a good fit for them. And what I did is I just called the agent. I called the agent and said, hey, by the way, your property looks great. I got a buyer. Any thoughts of, your seller is selling? And she said, you're not going to believe this. I just talked to him. This was expired 2 years ago. And she said they rented it out for 2 years to the same tenant. The sellers decided that they were ready to sell. They gave me a call like 2 weeks ago, gave the notice 60 days away from the property coming back on the market. I went over there. I said, can I show it? She said, yes. I went over there, put the deal under contract, 1-5, never hit the MLS. Get on that, guys. Number three strategy is do not underestimate the power of the I have a buyer letter when it's real and legitimate. Okay, those have been working for the last 7 years really, really well. Now, it's a little played out depending on your marketplace, okay? Depending on how many Tom Ferry seminars have come through town, because Tom's been recommending this for years because this works. There's a new letter that I think is going to be the best one, which is I wrote an offer on your neighbor's house at 123 Banana. It was a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, and we wrote an offer at list price. If you've had any thoughts of selling, please give me a call. My buyers love the neighborhood. Now, you might go, wait a minute, Patrick, wait a minute, well, let me write that down. Stop, guys. What I found in good letters is if you just tell the truth and that's it, explain it exactly as it is. You don't need to add anything salesy. You don't need to add any extra details. Just tell the truth. It works really, really well. So please don't forget that you should be sending lots of letters, especially if you wrote an offer in a neighborhood. And the eye of a buyer works. Okay? So step 1 in 2021 is go do those 3 things and get more listing appointments. You're welcome. Now let's go to step 2 of actually how to get these buyers, how to help you guys convert. So I wrote down that we really need to up our game with our buyer consultation. Okay? See, in a challenging market like this, this is where your education really makes the difference. Now, I think traditionally buyer consultations were more about like following these scripts to get them to hire you. Let's just be honest, guys, we really need to educate the buyers today about what to expect in the process of writing an offer and getting it accepted. I'm not talking about you reviewing the contract or reviewing the escrow process. Like, no, I'm talking about like, hey, let me deep dive with you about what's going on with today's market. So how do you explain what's happening with today's market? By the way, I did a video on that. It's called Real Estate Scripts. And I basically just outlined the 5 reasons why I believe that prices are going to continue to rise. I did that for you and all of my coaching clients. I'm kind of an economics nerd. And I was like, man, I just don't see any reason why prices would fall. Okay, so take a look at that video if you need some help. But I do want you to be able to explain powerfully and eloquently why you believe the market it is what it is. The demand is so high and the supply is constricted, causing prices to continue to rise. In most cases today across the US, we're seeing a 1% increase in price points across the country per month. Now, how do you explain that? In our buyer consultation, we do need to get better at explaining that, talking about the value of a low interest rate, talking about, you know, kind of what's going on economically, what you see as the trends in your market so that you can give these buyers more confidence, so that they trust you more, and so that they don't have as much hesitance to write strong offers is what's required. Okay? Step number 2 in the consultation is, inside of the consultation, we have to do what I refer to as probability research. What do I mean by this? What we need to do is we need to pull the sold data. So I did this just kind of happenstance the other day. I had a client come in and I needed to set the expectation right, because they're like, hey, we only want to spend $850 in Carlsbad, and we want to be close to the beach, and we want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single story, and a single family. And I was like, ain't gonna happen, right? That's what I'm going. Now, I didn't want to crush their dreams and be the jerk. So I was like, come on in, let's get into the office. And what I did is I pulled up 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single story, you know, and there's 4 zip codes of Carlsbad. And I basically just showed them in the last 6 months, what happened in the last 6 months. Then there was this beautiful thing. I said, look, do you see this listing, right? Look at the list price. Oh, look at the days on market. Oh, look at the sold price. Now let's take a look at the property. And I was like, can you see that this property is not that great? Now let's take a look at the location. And then I did that numerous times. Look at the list price, look at the days on market, look at the sold price. Let's take a look at the property. And I was setting expectations around the sold data with the buyer. Now they were like, okay, we get what we can get for $850 in Carlsbad. And now they knew, and I didn't have to be the bearer of bad news. Oh, you ain't gonna get that, right? I've told one of my great coaching clients, I said, I told one of my great coaching clients, stop being a dream killer, right? Let the data do the talking in our buyer consultations with the sold data, okay? So let's go. Let's move on to, obviously we all need to get better at a buyer consultation. Let's move on to point number 3, which is, I wrote down, this is a good one. Teach buyers how listing agents and sellers are going to view the market, are going to view the offers. Okay, this was super powerful. I did this with a couple and it really made a big difference. And I basically said to them in the buyer consultation, I said, guys, listen, I've been a listing agent, I've sold a lot of listings, and I told them, I said, here's how when someone writes an offer and they present it to me, the listing agent, I am representing the fiduciary responsibility of this seller. And I said, I want to make sure that you guys understand, as the listing agent, if I accept your offer in California, I'm on the hook to the buyer, but the buyer can cancel on me. I can't really cancel on them involuntarily unless the buyer doesn't follow through with the contract. So I was explaining to them that it's really my job as the listing agent to scrutinize the offers and look for the best offer with the highest probability of someone who's going to follow through and who's going to close. So I'm going to be scrutinizing the buyer's agent and the buyer's preparedness, readiness, and the way that they write the offer. And when I explain to my buyers what the job and duty is of the listing agent to scrutinize offers, that's when they're like, oh, I get it. See, now they understood how the game is being played. Now they understood that they kind of needed to be in the game with me. And so what was fun was, I was like, so if you guys go to an open house, how do you treat the listing agent? When you go to the open house, be nice to the agent. Let them know that you're working with me as an agent so that they're not awkward or uncomfortable, but be super polite. Ask great questions. Good agents would want to help you, and especially if you're upfront with them about that you have an agent and you ask great questions, then they'll remember you. So then when I get on the phone with them, I get to compliment them and say, oh, my buyers, they asked you some great questions. It was this, so-and-so and so-and-so, and they were really appreciative of your help. Oh, so meaning we're getting our buyers to start the influence process from the open house? Yes. Okay. See, that leads us to really, we're going to come back to influencing the listing agent at point number 5. So let's just go to point number 4. Point number 4, and I don't need to cover this, you guys, but if you don't know how to write an offer like a pro, you need to get that figured out. Write an offer like a pro. What does that mean? Well, that means that everything is prepared. Everything is detailed. Your email is spot on. Your communication is super on point. You dotted all the I's and you crossed all the T's. Okay? Guys, if you don't know how to write an offer like a pro, please go get that figured out. It's pretty straightforward, right? Now, I will tell you, as a new agent, because I didn't know that, I just kind of half-assed it, and I was just excited to write an offer, and I just wrote the offer and I just sent it. And then once I became a listing agent, then I started to see offers that were written really well with like the summary and a great email, and I started to notice the different agents and how they approached me way more professionally versus the agent that just like sent a text, sent a contract with none of the details. See, as a listing agent, you start to scrutinize, who do I want to work with here? Okay, so guys, up your game with how you write your offers. Make them pro level, right? As prepared and as beautiful and as professional and as organized as you possibly can. Okay, because that leads us to step number 5, which is the secret ingredient. Patrick, how do I get more offers accepted over the competition? And this is where the summary of this whole thing goes. And I'm just going to tell you guys right now, you're welcome, because this is good. See, I didn't realize this until one day I was like, okay, how do we win our offer over if 3 offers are on the table for the listing agent? All 3 offers are above list price. There are no contingencies, no appraisal, like literally no nothing. These are perfect offers. And there's 3 of them, 1, 2, 3, and they're all 3 exactly the same. Here's the difference. So I am the listing agent. You are the seller. Watch my body language and let me tell you how this goes. So, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, we've got 3 offers. They're all amazing. They're all good. They're all maxed out. They're all like, so this is, Ferry. She's a great real estate agent that I've talked to quite a bit, and she has been really, really pushing hard for her buyers. Really respect her. She's a good agent, and here's her buyer's offer. Here is, I don't remember what this guy's name is. It's Bob Smith from some office. Yeah, he wrote the offer exact same. Okay, and then here is, let's see, what's this guy? This is Jimmy John's offer. Okay, now, did you catch it? Okay, all 3 things were equal. How did I present Carly? What happened to my body language as the listing agent when I was presenting Carly's offer? And she was, and she was, and she was, and she was, and she was. And then, all 3 things being equal. The sellers, I just as the listing agent, subconsciously signaled to the seller that Carly was the better choice. Then push comes to shove when the sellers turn to the listing agent and say, what do you recommend? If I'm the listing agent and Carly was the one that demonstrated the most professionalism, communicated with me the most, really presented the buyers professionally, she really created the professional offer, she built rapport, they did everything. Carly clearly is the one I would rather work with over Bob, who was that? Text me, and this one never even communicated. They just kept sending in higher and higher offers. I don't even know who that is. See, at the end of the day, the listing agent is protecting the seller from an agent and a buyer who could just cancel on them. So we're going to naturally tend to the more professional, the more engaged, the better communicator, the agent that actually really demonstrated that they have control over the buyer, that they're motivated, that they're excited, that they really want this thing to go through, that they're going to do whatever it takes, and that they're going to fight for their buyer to win the game. As a listing agent, who do I want to work with? The person that never talked to me, that sent me a text message? Do you guys get that? See, this is when I deconstructed that, I was like, oh my gosh, you know what the secret ingredient is? See, when I talk to a lot of agents across the country who have not been in low inventory, high buyer demand markets, really, what your natural tendency is that you're going to, as the buyer's agent, you're going to go negotiate against the listing agent. See, all of you guys who've never been in this situation, you're used to negotiating. So you're used to like hardballing with the listing agent. I'm sorry, that game is over. Right now, it's really about how well you communicate professionally and create good relationships with the listing agent. This is the secret ingredient, my friends. Okay, for all of you veteran agents that may be watching this, this is like counterintuitive. Some of you veteran agents understand that reputation matters. See, in this market, I will tell you guys that reputation really matters right now. See, if you have a good reputation of being an agent that, has good communication, that really pays attention to the details, that follows through with what you say, and that you have a good reputation in the marketplace, that reputation pays off in this environment. So, for my friends out there with listings, if you are not actually having good communication as the listing agent and you are creating a bad reputation for yourself, that's a major mistake. And then for all my buyer agent friends out there, this is your opportunity to build a good reputation. And your reputation will allow you to be successful. So guys, all of us, in this game, this is where reputation kicks in. When times get tough, when it's difficult, when there's a lot of stress on the line, when the pressure's on, how well do you perform? So there's my 5 strategies to help you guys get more wins in 2021 when working with buyers. Let me know how I can help you. I hope this was helpful. Look forward to seeing you on the next video. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification, give me a thumbs up, let me know. Keep me going with the enthusiasm to do more videos. Have a great day, guys.